Hello everyone and welcome back to the currency game. So I did want to do a video on whether or not we are just having a pullback or is this the end of the bull run, because I did look at, you know my last video was, is this basically the same question, because when you hit a high area of resistance like this pink area and you add the above the 100% mark, right? So that can kind of give a little bit of iffy kind of scenario. So pretty much a week has passed by, and I've updated the chart. So I'm going to go over the chart for Bitcoin and for XLM, XRP, probably Ethereum, Solana, maybe. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm looking at Solana, because a lot of people use Solana for memes and they buy Solana, so that's a critical component for the retail market. Of course, Bitcoin is the ultimate crypto. So we definitely have to look at that chart. But let's just go ahead and get into it. So what we're looking at is the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. So let me say this one quick thing, because I don't really try to watch other people's videos on trading, but sometimes I do. I end up, especially if I see a person that takes my interest. So a lot of these videos, they just, to me, just irritate me, because it's hype and it's really leading people astray. And a good example, I'm not even gonna pinpoint who video it was, but this person was trading and they didn't show anything of how they entered the trade, what made them realize this was a good point to enter the trade, or where they showed where they were targeting, but it was like, it was so random how they even got into the trade. I didn't even understand it. And when I was looking at the chart, like, and I understand people want to keep clean charts because that's supposed to signify that you know what you're doing or whatever. I don't know. But to me, knowing what you're doing is if you're able to make profits, period. I don't care what your chart look like. As long as you making profits, that's all that matters. But if you're going to be showing what you did, please let people know how you came to that conclusion of this is why I entered the trade. So that's my little soapbox. And if you're watching people who are doing that, like, just think, did they show me how, what made them enter the trade? Because the number one reason people lose at trading is their bad entries. But anyway, but the person on there that was showing going in, and the trade went against them. But I could look at the chart and tell, even without them setting up their chart, that it was a bad entry. But neither here or there. But anyway, so right now, let me show you what you're looking at. So if we were, like, some of this I can take off. I can take this off. So what we are looking at is, we got an upward trend going on with Bitcoin, right? Let's go to the daily. And we've been having an upward trend for quite a while, since basically since 2022. All right, so, and we had moments of retracement meaning it went up and pulled back, went back down, then it started going back up, pulled back down, went back up, pulled back down. But if you notice, when like it went up, pulled back down, it made a big run, made pull back, made not so big of a run, right? Pull back, not so big of a run, right? But we don't know if we finished yet or not. So I pay attention to that, and that 100% level is starting from this bottom right here, right? Where it had made this major run, came all the way back down, and this was the bottom of this run. So where you see, like, I know I got a lot going on here, but I'm gonna take some stuff off. Let me see, what can I take off? I can take this off. No, before I do that, because yeah, I can take that off. All right. So what I want you to pay attention to is that we made a continuation up, right? But we're pulling back. What we're trying to see is this going to continue? And the next parallel support is right down here. And that is coming from all these other touches down here. We got a touch right here, right? We got a touch right here, right? We got another touch right here. Right, so that's where this, Lord Jesus, that's where this parallel is coming from. So that's why I said if we really are coming out for this one, then we're probably getting towards this one, which would make sense if we were, because it would mean that we're trying to get to this, at least to this 50% level. Doesn't mean that we are yet. So what we want to do is we want to kind of like, we want to follow to see what's happening. So one of my main tools for following is alerts. So I only use basically alerts, parallel channels, which are basically my trend lines, and support and resistance, like these pink horizontal, you see the green, that's like support, that's resistance, and you've got another resistance, and then sometimes I have like this gray, like in between area of, it can be either, it can be one moment it can be resistance, next minute it can serve as support. So those are the main things that I use to guide me through, right? So let's go down a little bit further. So if you look at this, probably need to go down to the hourly, right? So it has made its way to the bottom of, Solana's doing something. It's made its way to the bottom of this channel that was going down, like this retracement channel. So it's made it to the bottom of this. This is why I like using parallel channels versus trend lines, because I can see where when it first started, right? And you connect. I hope this is making sense. If you connect the two bottoms right here, this bottom right here, and this bottom right here. Basically, I just connected them with this channel, right? This line is basically a channel. But when I click on that channel, like I took that off. You see how that line disappeared, this line that was down here? So the channel started between here and here. But what you can do, this is why I like parallel channels, you can add like a buffer below that channel and above that channel, because usually that's a liquidation. All right, so it can be a liquidation, or if you start coming completely out of that channel, and that top line that was the, this was serving as support, right? This little line right here. If this starts serving as resistance, then we're probably heading out of that channel, right? Does it mean that we're finished? Maybe not. But what I would be doing is I would let it finish figuring out how far is it dropping, or have we finished dropping. So that's where the alerts come in, right? Because the last peak, I can get rid of this one. The last peak was right here, right? So I want to know, and this is just for Bitcoin long term, right? The way I'm handling. Now, this is the same way I handle for trading on my other coins, but I am doing it on a lower time frame. So Bitcoin, I'm looking at it from a long term and like seeing, where we doing here. Let me put this alert. 114. 240. All right, so I got that going. And I probably could put alert right here above this gray support area. I'm not, because I'm not really trying to enter a trade. I'm just trying to see whether or not if we are finished retracing, or are we just going further down, right? Now, if I was trying to enter a trade, then yes, I would put an alert right here to see how it reacts to this support level, because I see how it reacted here on that support level. I want to see how if it were to come back down, when it comes back down to this support area, what is it going to do, right? But because I'm not entering a trade, I'm not really worried about that. All right, so that I'm going to leave that alone with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to let me know whether or not if we are just retracing and we ready for a reversal after this alert goes off. After this alert goes off right here, right? Another thing I could do, and this is why you see so many fibs on my chart, is look at the last high, right? The last peak was right here. This is the last bottom. I can do a little minor fib, and this is what I do. This is how my charts start looking a little messy, but it helps me, right? And what I'm looking for is to see this 50% level. So I want to see, is it trying to make its way? If it bypasses this alert, right, which is bypassing this area right here on this parallel channel, how is it going to react to this, right? And then if it hits this area and bounces, right, it's this gray area and this 50% level serving as resistance, and then it bounces, right, and it's still staying on this upward trend on this parallel, then I know we're probably just retracing, and we're probably going to keep going up, right? And that we're probably not really finished. But doesn't mean that once it keeps going up, it could come to this area up here and make a double top. So I'm very cognizant of that as well, because when we remember when I showed you on a daily chart, it wasn't that big of a gap between here and here when it made its next run versus when it made its first runs at the bottom of the chart. So it lets me know we're getting closer and closer to a major resistance. Doesn't mean that it can't blow out that resistance. It could, but there's a higher probability of it not. That's all I'm saying. In the short term, should I say. All right, so we're gonna just hold off on Bitcoin right now. We just gonna let it do its thing. Let the alerts go off. Right now, I can't say whether if it's over or not, because it hasn't really shown me that it's really over. If you get what I'm saying, the chart hasn't really shown me that it's over. It's shown me that it's retraced, but it hasn't shown me that the game is over. What will show me the game is over is it coming, not necessarily the game over, but that we haven't turned around yet. That's what I mean by the game is over. The game ain't over with Bitcoin by far. But I'm saying as far as short-term retracement versus the end of the bull run, that type of deal. It will let me know if it comes completely out of here, and then I'm gonna see how, of course, if it reacts to this level, this previous resistance become a new support. And so that could be your end of your retracement to go make it go back up. And what it could be doing is, like, people are looking at, oh, this is a bullish flag, and then it comes out of here and it kind of fools or deceives people, and it could be making like a inverse head and shoulders. So that's why I just let it play it out, and just kind of be cognizant of my support and resistance. Like, you got two resistance areas. Is this trying to become a new support, or is this just showing me just a small retracement? And I mean, well, in comparison, right? Small retracement, and then trying to make its way back up. All right, so let's move on to, I'm gonna go to XLM because as I told y'all guys, I trade XLM. XRP is more long-term. It's not the same thing as Bitcoin to me, but we can discuss that another day. It has potential to go way higher than it is right now, but I personally don't think XLM and Bitcoin are the same thing. Bitcoin is a scarcity coin. XLM is a functionality coin. Two different things. So, or blockchain or whatever. So, what was I thinking? Oh, okay. So what I'm doing now is just tracking its movement up. So I'm just using my horizontal ray with an alert on it. The only thing you do for horizontal ray is go to the horizontal ray tool, and you just click on the chart. It creates a horizontal ray, basically a line. You can put it whatever color you want, and then you click on the little button that says a little clock button, and you click on crossing, or it already have crossing up there. You can do once per bar and then create. But I'm gonna delete this because I already got it up there, but I'm just showing you what I did. So and then what I'll do is just keep moving this bottom bar up, right? I'll just keep moving this bottom bar up and make sure we don't go below our what do you call it? Target. Below this last low, should I say, not target. And we're just gonna keep, and what I am in this trade, so I'm just let you know. And my, what do you call it? It's at 2%. I can bring this up so I don't have to be at 2% anymore. Because remember, I like to be below. I'll probably bring it up to here. So now I'm like less than 1%, right? Boom. So I know. But anyway, I'm a little corny basically. But anyway, so we're just gonna keep moving this thing up because it keeps we're gonna move it past. I want to move it up to the 100%. I am just gonna create just a small alert right here. I'm not gonna put a line. I'm just gonna put a little alert here because that will let me know that we kind of, drop down a little bit without me having to stare at the chart. 38178. And usually you don't have to do this. Usually, I don't know why is it acting like this right now, but usually you just click on the chart and it'll have a little pop up and it'll say add alert. But past day, I don't know why it's been doing that. But anyway, so that's why I like the channel, because it could come all the way down and come, like somebody else could have like a trend line and then it come below that trend line. They think, oh, we done, and it really is not done. It's just doing a little bit of liquidation and it's coming back up. And it could do that, right? So that's why I love channels. And you could put alerts on channels as well. But I'm hoping to get it at least to the 50% mark, or right at the 78% mark, which would be, it's not a big trade, but honey, we do compounding over here. So I think it's worth almost 6%, right? Which is, Sunday seems to be the day for trading. I don't know. It's been like that for a little while. Like things start popping off on Sunday instead of Monday. And then it might pop off again Tuesday or Wednesday. And then again, possibly on Friday. I've been noticing that little pattern. But anyway, so, and see, it's popping up right now while people are, a lot of retail traders might be a little lax right now because it's Sunday. And they come and see, oh gosh, Monday the market is moving, so I need to get in. And then that's where the big ballers like just take their money and basically sell off. So that's why I believe in doing alerts and, just knowing when things are happening, and just, it makes life so much easier. I don't have to stare at this chart all day. I just wait for these alerts to go off, honey. As long as I got the stuff set up and I figured out where I'm entering it. And this is how I figured out how to enter in this trade, because I was talking about the other person not doing that. Okay, so the reason why was when I looked at this bigger time, like bigger, I really was going to get in a little bit early because I woke up early. And I wanted to see what it was going to do when it came up here and then bounce and then come back, make a lower high. And I was like, okay, what are we going to do right here? Are we coming out of here? If we're not coming out of here, then I'm entering in. So, and that's how I entered in to the trade. That's what let me know, okay, this might be a safe place to enter in. That we still might be trailing up, and we still are well below the 50% mark, if you catch my drift. So now we're hitting 100% from the last little major peak right up here, right? So it probably is going to make a little retracement. I'm okay with that. Let's be cool with that. We're not going to freak out. We're going to let it do its thing as long as it does not go below my stop loss. We still good. So, but that's why I put, where did I put that alert? I don't need it right there. Why did I put that right there? We're going to put it right below this section right here. Doesn't mean we can get out, but it's just going to give me a heads up after I know it hit like that 100%, at the 100% mark of the last little minor peak, right? I mean, major run. I mean, not major, but minor run. All right. 3. 8. 285. So, this, you can trade from the chart from TradingView and Coinbase, because I use Coinbase to enter my trade. I use TradingView to chart and to know what price to put in for my limit orders on Coinbase. You can do it all from the chart. I just don't do it because I use my iPad for charting, and when you use the iPad, a smaller screen for charting and trading at the same time, it reduces the size of the chart screen, and so that's why I don't do it from there. If I probably had like a bigger monitor, I probably would do it from the TradingView chart using Coinbase as the broker. And I've already explained why I use an iPad and not use a big monitor, because I don't like just sitting at a desk. I hate a desk. I don't like being at a desk. So what I do is I might be out at a park. I might be at the mall sitting outside. I might be in my car, like just chilling. I might be at a restaurant and doing my trade. I like having the flexibility of being mobile. That's the thing. That's one of the other things I love about trading. So that's why I use my iPad for the charting, and then I look at where I want to enter my price on the chart, and I put that price in for a limit buy order on Coinbase. All right, and then once that transaction happens, right, usually it's pretty immediate. I don't immediately put the stop loss. I will like show it on my chart so I'll know, and what I'll do is put alerts so that when it's getting closer to that and it's kind of breaking structure, then I will put in my stop loss, if you catch my drift. Okay, because sometimes when you put that stop loss in too early, people come and steal it and then run. So that's why I do not do that. That's just not telling you that that's what you should do. I'm telling you what I do. Look, this is not from financial advice. This is just me sharing what I do for educational purposes. All right, y'all, some of y'all crazy out here. But anyway, so and that's what we're gonna do for XLM. Let me look at XRP. I'm gonna look at them for my higher time frame, because I'm not trading them. I just want to see what's happening, right? So we came out of this trend right here, and that's just on my phone. I have alerts on my phone. It sounds like a cha-ching. So I'm just going to do this. Just readjust the parallel. And I'm going to put an alert below here. It probably is gonna drop below there, but I just want to know. It doesn't mean we're done. It just means that I'm gonna see how it's gonna bounce or if it's gonna bounce, or if it's gonna fall through. And that is at 2.8114. Boom. So let's just kind of zoom out, right? So what we looking at here? This is what we looking at with XRP. Basically, it made its run up, right? And it's kind of been like doing some type of consolidation, and that could mean that it could have a little bit. Let me see. I would like to see how it reacts to this little support area right here. Or is it going to try to come back to this parallel down here, right? Before it makes its move up. We shall see. So we're going to let the alerts tell us the story. I'm not trading this, so that's why I'm not interested in the little minor details of XRP. If you were trading it, then yes, I would be going all the way down to 2 minute, because I have the higher level perspective. It has passed the 100% level of where it last ran. So there we go. 15 minutes. So I'm gonna use this this major highest peak so far. I'm gonna use that as a minor fib. So if I was trying to trade this, this is what I would do. I would not enter it right now. What I would do is like let it, like it's at the peak of this, in between this channel right here. I would monitor it, see if it can come back down some, and then once it come back down, see how it bounce in this lower area of this channel. And if it can make a bounce, then I would consider entering, right? Let's say like it bounced and came back to right in here, I don't know, right? That would be my first target to that 50% level, right? Which is not bad, about 8%, right? That's if it can make it down here without falling out, right? And then I would definitely keep watch my wrist. I always watch my wrist first, but let me check on Bunk, because Bunk did something. So I always check Bunk and XLM. If I were to, this is what I was doing. I'm not in Bunk, but I always like put what would I want to get into Bunk. I would want it to come down. So I don't know if I would get in right here because it's after the 50% mark. So I probably wanted to come back to somewhere around here or so. It might even go further than there, but I would want it to come a little bit down. I wouldn't want to enter it up here where it has passed the 50% mark. I want it to like reject first and then make a come back down, and then if it's still not coming out here, then I would consider coming in and put my 2% or less risk on it. So I can get rid of this. I'm just keeping a tab on like how it's moving, but my main thing is to keep a tab on XLM because that's what I'm in. Okay, so like it's, you know, it hit the 100% mark, it retraced back, which I expected. It's probably going to hit this alert that I just made, right? And I'm still going to watch it after it hits this alert, and then I might consider putting my stop loss just in case. But if it were to, like, if I see this really trying to come out of here and I can get a lower price, or if I can feel like I can get a lower price than where I'm in at. So, yeah, so we're going to just let it do its thing. It's probably going to come a little bit lower than that. So this is what we're going to do, just to kind of see where's a good place to put an alert. We're just going to do just a quick little temporary fib. All right, so we're going to put right above this 61% level. We're going to put another, maybe like right below that 50%, so I can have time to react if I need to. 387. And I know a lot of people use 387 500. I know a lot of people use the like SMAs or moving averages. I used to try to use those, but I decided it just does nothing for me. I mean, I can see that it's moving up and that it's touching that, and that's where people feel like they want to enter in. But to me, it's just not. I feel like my way has made my accuracy way higher than using moving averages for my entries. And because I know that entries is the worst way to lose, it's the best way to lose at trading, is bad entries. So therefore, I want the method that gives me the best entries, if you catch my drift. And moving averages, for me, don't give me my best entries. I'm not saying it don't give good entries. It probably gives good entries, but it doesn't give the highest level of entries for me, if you catch my drift. And that's pretty much it, boo. So I'm just gonna let this play out. I can pretty much, if I want to, kind of walk away and let the alerts go off, eat my little breakfast, and see what it do, right? And usually when, especially, I'm okay with it coming down because it made a higher high, right, from this last one. This is a higher high than this one. So therefore, if it were to come out of here, it's going to still bounce back up, but it might make a lower high. But I'm not going to get out just because it hit all the way down here. I'm going to let it come down and then come back up. And then I know if it breaks structure, then it's time for me to get out. Right? And this is why I know where I want to stop out at, right? But I know where I can stop, like when I'm to put in my stop loss. I don't immediately put it in. That's just me. I'm not telling you that's what you should do, because I don't think that's for everybody to do, because it depends on your level of emotional control. That will determine whether you can do what I'm doing. If you have a high level of emotional control, then you can do what I'm doing. I'm not saying like I'm better. I'm just saying it's based off of your level of emotional control. If you don't have a lot of emotional control, then you probably want to put your stop loss in. Because the reason why I say that is because when things start moving and it start doing stuff on that chart, you start questioning yourself. So therefore, that's when the emotion starts running, and then you start making bad decisions. Whereas if you just had to just put that emotion, if you know that you don't have good emotional control, then you go ahead and put that stop loss in. Seriously. So, all right. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let it run its course, and then I'll come back and record where it ended up at. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at here. Thanks. I'll be back.